So we're almost at the end of the semester, and I'm going to take just a couple minutes to walk through the big task that you have remaining in Module 8, and that is the stress management plan. So this is going to help us kind of pull together all the different dimensions of wellness that we've been talking about over the course of this class, and then give you some starting points in each for how things may shape up or may be helpful for you going forward. So let me share my screen and then we'll walk through what this is going to look like. Okay. So in terms of stress management plan, and you will find all of these listed on our online site. So the stress management plan, essentially what we're going to do is go through the different dimensions of health that are described in chapter 1. They're on page 5 of your text. And so we're going to talk about physical, psychological, spiritual, social, intellectual, occupational, and environmental. And for each one of these, you're going to reflect on your current health status, and then you're going to list a SMART goal that you have in each dimension, and then a specific strategy for working toward that SMART goal. And I want you to think about one obstacle and then intervention that you can use to overcome that obstacle. So I'll give you a real quick example. I posted this online as well. So in terms of current health status, I could say that I feel pretty good about my current health status. I'm pretty physically active, but maybe one of the things that I struggle with is planning ahead for eating. And so I tend to not eat as healthy as I should because I wait till the last minute and then I don't have the groceries I need. So one goal I might set for myself is to limit the amount of fast food I eat to 1 meal per week. And the SMART goal stuff, I'm sure you've talked about this in other classes, but we touched on it a little bit in this class as well. It needs to be measurable. That's really the biggest thing. So at the end of the day, when you look at that goal, if you read it back to yourself, can we measure, did you accomplish it or not? If you can say yes, pretty emphatically, then it's a SMART goal. So in terms of the strategy, for me, it's more just having food available. If I wait till the last minute and then I'm hungry or whatever, I'm going to be less likely to want to go home and cook something. And then if I get home and I don't have food that I can cook, I'm probably going to end up eating out. So the strategy for me is to make time on the weekends to grocery shop and then meal prep so that I'm a little bit more prepared going into the week. And on my busy days, to make sure that probably the night before is best for me to make sure that I pull together stuff for my lunch so that I'm not scrambling around in the morning before I have to get to work. So that would be my strategy. It's a very specific way for me to help meet that goal. In terms of obstacles, well, I don't really like to grocery shop. I put this in the example, and I'm lucky because my husband actually doesn't mind. So a lot of times he does do that for our family, but that's a definite obstacle for me. I also know that in the mornings, I'm usually rushing around trying to get out the door. And if I don't have stuff prepared, I'm more likely to grab junky stuff on the way to work. So I know that that's going to be an obstacle. So intervention wise, I need to have a plan in place where I have some food ready to go that I can just grab out of my fridge, things like that. So that would be my obstacle and intervention. The other part of this is I want you to provide a response as to the most impactful part of this class. This is the second time through for this class. And I think that as we do this more and more and more, I want to make the content as applicable as I can to you guys and your situation. So some feedback would be really great. That also goes for the course evaluations. Those are really important for us adapting this class to meet your needs. So last part of this task is to provide some information for the students who are yet to take the class. So if you could give them one piece of advice for a student who's just starting the class, that would be helpful as well. So I provided a template that is online. It looks like this, and all you simply need to do is just fill in the blanks. So you'll be able to download the template and then put your response in for each one of these. So you're going to walk through physical wellness for each of the 4 parts, psychological wellness, spiritual wellness, social wellness, intellectual wellness, occupational wellness, and environmental wellness. And then here are the 2 spots at the very bottom for the most impactful content or part of the class, and then 1 suggestion for a future student who takes this class. If you have other specific suggestions about how we can make the class better, you can put those on your course evals. So how you're going to be graded. There is a rubric that I've posted online as well. And you can see here for each one of the different dimensions that you're going to write about, it's 2 points for each part of figuring out the prompt and putting some information in, and then 5 points for response to the most impactful content, and then 5 points for your suggestion or advice for a future student. And that adds up to 66 points, which is a really big ticket item compared to a lot of the other things that we've done. So make sure that you spend some time doing this. I believe I put in the course shell to plan for an hour or so. Honestly, if you have some thoughts in mind about goals, it really shouldn't take that long. But I want you guys to reflect on, meaningful goals that you have. When we talk about SMART goals, it's really important to make sure not just that it's measurable, but that it is something that is reasonable as well. So, pick things that will allow you to gain some traction or momentum, and then you can revisit this again in another 3 months or so and see how you're doing, and then reestablish some new goals. So I hope that this has been a really great class for you. And that's, if you have questions about this specific assignment, just let me know. Otherwise, I hope your end of the semester is a smooth one.